What's up, guys? This is rinoranchero with some gameplay commentary of me playing the Spy Kit once again. I really love this kit. I've probably won around 15 times with it, and I've only had the kit for less than a week. So it's been very fun. I've had lots of success with it. And in this game, there's only 30 people, so I decided to have a strategy of getting my stone sword and my stews ready before invincibility even runs out, which is not always the strategy I go with. But I decided to do this here because, hey, there's only 30 people. So right as invincibility runs out, I decide to start hunting, and my compass goes crazy. It tells me that there's 6 people within 45 blocks of me. My first kill is this Frosty, who doesn't even have a sword and doesn't fight back because of that. Then I run down here and see this other guy, and it's kind of crazy to see which kid everyone is because there's so many people, so you kind of just have to try to follow the compass with all the chaos in the beginning of the game. So that's 2 kills, and then I run over here to this demo man who sets up 2 nice little traps. Of course, I'm not going to fall for that. And I'm careful not to jump on them, and I hit him, and he accidentally jumps right onto the trap and commits suicide. So how cool is that for me? Of course, I didn't get the kill, but I'd much rather have him just kill himself. So then there's this guy up here who I know is a Thor, and he starts to tower up, which I don't understand. But I'm not going to go over there because he'll just Thor me, and I'd rather fight a Thor on main ground. So over here I see a team of 2. So I load up my stew, so I figure now is a better time than ever to take them on. So I start to hit them. They're both hitting me, but I take out the first guy who's a Thor and the second guy who was a Frosty. So that was great, because if I didn't kill him in the beginning of the game, I would have had to take them on later, and they both could have full iron, and that would be much more of a struggle. So that's 4 kills, and now I am pointing towards the Thor, who comes off his tower and goes back on flat ground, which is right when I wanted to fight him. And I just start to hit him. He Thors me. I'm on fire. But the one thing about fighting a Thor is you never want to show weakness, because a Thor always thinks that he can control the fight with his axe. But what you want to do is just charge in and keep souping no matter what. And you can get the kill in most situations. So he had some iron ore, which is probably why he made that tower, because he didn't want anyone to kill him and take his iron away from him, which is what I was able to do. So my compass points towards a monk and then to a Thor who is at level 28. So I decide I need to take some break. I need to get my stuff together, figure everything out. So I go up into the desert, and I want to smelt this iron right here. And I always want to keep my inventory nice and organized. And I was able to get a good amount of stew off those kills that I got in the beginning of the game, which is very important to have. Then I see a Thor who's right there, and for some reason he doesn't see me. I really don't understand. I thought he saw me. I thought that's why he was over there, but he didn't. So within 4 hits, he is dead. And now I'm pointing towards this Thor again, who is still level 25, level 26. So I want to leave him be for now. So fast forward about a minute or so, I'm smelting the iron, and I see the guy over here. He's actually a cultivator who logged out of the tower over there. And I don't know what his plan was, but I have an iron sword, he has a stone sword. And so we exchanged some hits, and in a couple of stews, he's dead. And so now there's only one guy in the tower over there, who I assume is an Ender Mage. But I haven't gotten close enough to actually see what kid he is. So after the fight is over, I have smelted, all the iron is now smelted, and so I have enough to make a chest plate. And so that's what I do here, and I notice that the Thor is still level 28, but I definitely want to be aware of where he is. And in fact, after I make some more mushroom stew, eat some apples, I notice that his elevation is rising. 34, 35, 36. Now it's 41. So I go over to the compass, to where the compass points, and I see his nameplate. And I realize there's a ravine right here. And what does he have? Full iron. This is what he's been doing the whole time. So I jump down. He has his thorax, but then he switches to the iron sword. And he only relies on that. And that is his demise. He had the thorax in his hand, but he decided to not rely on that, and it cost him because I had the stews, and he didn't use any stews if he had any. So I see another person on my compass who's a Viper, and I equip the full iron, and he doesn't attack me. He probably would have been a good time to attack me when I was looting all that stuff. And then I see him. He has no armor, and he sees I'm in full iron, but he still comes down anyway. I gotta give him props for that. Most people would run at the sight of a full iron guy, but he comes down and thinks his Rever power will be enough, but it's not. So now I skip forward about 7 minutes. Let me explain why I'm fast forwarding here. I spent some time with the Ender Mage, and I talked to him, and he said he was a cultivator, which I knew wasn't true, and I actually got some snowballs together, and tried to throw it at him, but by the time I got back with the snowballs, he was already at the building limit, and he had developed a platform, and I just couldn't kill him. So now I'm tracking this guy who has no kit, and his elevation is going up slowly, and he actually comes to the surface right here. I get one hit on him, but then I let a creeper go in and take away a good portion of his hearts, and that is just perfect. So I know he's weak, and I go in, and he's dead. So I was very fortunate for all that timing to work out, for the creeper, and for everything to work, and he's dead. So now there's only 4 people left. And we fast forward to the 20-minute mark. Now the Hermit, King Halo 4, who I'm tracking, actually killed the Ender Mage who was up in the tower. So I was very happy about that, because now I don't have to deal with his cheap tactics. And I can just fight this guy who doesn't have any offensive advantage over me. You know, he's just a hermit. So we go in, the first thing he does is dump down the lava, I just jump over it, and I start hitting him. And then right here, whoa, hacks! He hits me with his back turned to me, which is really scary, but that still doesn't help him out. I still kill him, but it's always really kind of frightening when all of a sudden someone goes into hack mode. But it was alright, because I killed him. Now my compass is pointing towards a monk. This is the last person in the game, and he is at level 12. Now the feast is going to be announced in about a minute, but I don't want to wait until the feast. I just want to get this over with. If he was an Ender Mage or something like that, then I would have gone to the feast. But he's a monk, so I decide, you know, whatever. I'm going to try to get to him. So I start digging down. You can see the feast is going to be announced in a minute, and I realize that he is not at level 12 anymore, but he's actually making his way up to the surface. And I say, oh, that's really weird. I thought he was going to camp the whole game. But then I realize the strategy is that he's going to come up to the surface and go right to the feast. And he thinks he's going to get there before I do, because I'll be trying to look for him, and he'll make his escape. So I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let someone else get to the feast. So I go back up the way that I came, get my cobble up, and start to tower up. 20 seconds till the feast starts, so I'm kind of freaking out a little bit because I don't want him to get there before I do. And then right when I come to the surface, I see his nameplate. I have both my swords ready in case he monks me, and we start to fight. I do see that he switches to the blaze rod, but he isn't successful in getting a hit on me, and he souped a couple times, but it's not enough, and he is dead. So that is it. Right a minute, or actually the feast just gets announced right as I win the game, and it was a very great game. Here is the stats page here, 13 kills, and there were only 30 people in the game, which is complete domination. I really had a fun time with this game, and I really only uploaded it for the reason that I had so many kills. And that is it. If you guys like the video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button. Or if you want to leave a comment, I would love that. Also, if you like my videos and want to watch some more videos, please hit the subscribe button, and I will be continuously uploading videos as I get more gameplay footage. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you have a good day, and happy Hunger Games. Goodbye.